Hey, what's going on? Chris Sajnog here, and in this video, I'm going to introduce you to the new rules of marksmanship, a fundamentally new way to learn how to shoot.
Joining me now is retired Navy SEAL sniper, Chris Sajnog.
Okay, so what are the new rules of marksmanship? Well, it's a scientifically proven system that I developed to teach people just like you how to shoot faster and easier at home. Now, I know you may be wondering, after running the US Navy SEAL sniper training program and teaching shooting for years to some of the world's most elite warriors, why would I feel that there's a need for this new training system? Well, when I retired from the Navy in 2009 and I started teaching shooting to law enforcement and civilians, I was using the same techniques and methods that I used to train Navy SEALs. And I learned very quickly that the techniques I was using just weren't going to work for anyone else. In the SEAL teams, we got paid to learn how to shoot, and we had unlimited amounts of ammunition. And of course, most people just don't have the time or money to learn that way. So for the next 4 years, I looked at the best athletes and classical musicians and even chess grandmasters and studied how they practiced. And I studied neuroscience and how the brain works to learn any new skill. And then I looked at the latest in educational theory and accelerated learning techniques, and I boiled them down to 7 essential steps that I call the new rules of marksmanship. Learning this new system is so important, whether you're learning to protect yourself or your family, or even for competition shooting or hunting. The new rules of marksmanship are going to save you a ton of time, money, and frustration. I'll admit it, I taught the wrong way for most of my career, but now I know better, and so do you. Just follow this simple process and you'll be able to learn faster, be more confident, and yes, you'll be able to shoot a whole lot better. New rule number 1, mindset. When it comes to learning how to shoot, most novices incorrectly believe that if they want to shoot well, the first skills that they need to learn and practice are how to stand or grip the gun or where to put their finger on their trigger. And this couldn't be further from the truth. I want you to think of your mind as a computer and learning any new skill like shooting as a new program you want to run on that machine. But your computer is older and it doesn't have enough memory, and heck, it may even have a virus or two. But you go ahead and install that program anyways, and then you're surprised that it's just not working, and picking it up as fast as Neo did in the Matrix. So what do? Well, we blame the program and not the real problem, and it's your old broken computer. But by learning to fix that operating system, you'll find that the program will run super fast and flawlessly. Many times with computers, all you need to do is just clear the cache, a simple reboot. And when it comes to your mind, this is done through meditation, visualization, and positive thinking, or what I call being an MVP shooter. New rule number 2, planning. Try to imagine taking a road trip and you want to make sure you get to your destination quickly and you don't waste any gas. Would you plan out your route, or would you just get in the car and hope to get there the best way you can? Well, my guess is you're smart enough to do some planning. When learning how to shoot, planning is critical. If you want to reach your goals quickly, you need to plan. As a new rule shooter, you'll have a GPS to help guide you. Just like the navigation system in your car, you'll be able to use this GPS to first gather information, find out where you're at and where you want to go. And it's only then that you can come up with a personalized plan to get there. Finally, you need to start. Again, like that GPS in your car, it only knows how to really perfect that destination and make changes once you start driving. New rule number 3, physics. The laws of physics control everything we do here on Earth, from how we breathe to how a firearm will cause an equal and opposite reaction to the force applied, like, when the gun goes bang. With this empirical knowledge comes a much better grasp on how those forces that are necessary to control a firearm can be used to your advantage, and it makes sure that your round hits its intended mark. Traditional firearms instruction simply has you copying how a great shooter stands or how they hold a gun and expects you to perform at that same level, when in fact it has nothing to do with how they're standing or how they're holding that gun. That's why there are so many different techniques, or what I call methods, to get it done successfully and be effective. What it comes down to is how you train. Imagine if you wanted to play basketball like Michael Jordan, and to do this you mirrored how he stood or how he held the ball. Well, I'm pretty sure that you can guess that if that's what you did, you're not going to be the next Michael Jordan, because everybody knows what made Michael Jordan so great was how he trained. New rule 4, focus. Learning to shoot a firearm effectively is not hard if you know where to focus. The problem, which even many experienced shooters struggle with, is not just where to focus, but also how to focus. By combining new rule skills like mindset, where you learn how to focus your mind, and physics, how you'll learn how to actually focus your eyes, and using tools and techniques scientifically proven to allow you to focus faster, you'll progress 10 times faster than you ever thought possible. And here's the best part about learning to focus. It takes no more effort to get better results. In fact, it takes less effort. And I'll give you an example. Think about the power of the sun. You know, it's warm, it's always warm, and it's always there. But simply learning to focus that power with a mirror or a magnifying glass can turn that same energy into fire. And it works the same way if you're focusing on the right things when you're learning to shoot. New rule 5, conditioned response training. If you want to learn any complex skill, the fastest way is to break the skill down into the smallest pieces, and I call these chunks. And you're going to practice one at a time and then put them together like a puzzle. If you want the skills to stick, you also need to learn without stress. And this means learning at home, not at the range. Think of any professional sports team. Do they play games to practice, or do they run drills? Well, new rule shooters use dry weapons training as their drills. You may not have ever heard of conditioned response training or even dry weapons training, but you may have heard the term dry fire, and I try to stay away from that term dry fire because most people, when they hear that, they think of simply pulling the trigger without a live round in the chamber. But when I talk about dry fire or dry weapons training in the new rules of marksmanship, what I'm saying is it's everything you do besides shooting a gun with a live round in the chamber. So this means working on your grip strength or improving your vision, learning how to focus, or even meditation. These are all things that'll make you a better shooter. New rule number 6, deliberate practice. Many people think that repetition is the key to improving any skill, while others argue that practice makes permanent and only perfect practice is needed. Although both of these statements are essentially true, they're also both incomplete. If just doing something a lot made us better, we would all type at 5,000 words per minute, even if we did it perfectly. New rule shooters focus on practicing specific elements to improve upon, not just meaningless repetition. If you want to type faster, you need to continue learning how to type faster, not just typing more. If you want to learn how to shoot better, you need to focus on continuing to learn how to shoot, not just going to the range and wasting a bunch of ammo. And finally, new rule number 7, constant feedback. The only thing worse than not practicing is practicing the wrong thing. Every time you perform a skill, you are teaching your body to do that the exact same way the next time you do it. So if you're doing it wrong, even one time, you're not getting better. In fact, you're getting worse. Think about how most people learn how to shoot. They buy a gun, they get some ammo, they go to the range, and they start shooting. They start shooting before they know how to stand. They start shooting before they know how to hold a gun. They start shooting before they know how to focus. So the first time that gun goes bang and they flinch or they anticipate or the gun jumps out of their hand, that reaction is ingrained in a neural pathway, and they'll spend the rest of their life trying to fix a flaw that didn't need to be there. Okay, I really hope that this video has shown you that there's a better and easier way to learn how to shoot. If you're a premium member, you can access the New Rules of Marksmanship mini course, which is about halfway down on your member's dashboard. And in there, you will find I have a video where I go in depth into each of the new rules. Also, keep in mind that this is a fundamental change in how you're going to learn. The New Rules of Marksmanship either need to be all in or they're not going to work. If you've been driving in the wrong direction for a few years and you think that you're going to turn around and instantly you're going to be right back where you want to go to your destination, you're not. It doesn't work that way, okay? So you need to stick with it and it will work. If this makes sense to you, if you've been struggling to learn how to shoot or just don't seem to be improving, give the new rules a shot. Go to chrissajnog.com/new rules to watch my top 3 videos on improving your shooting. Plus, I'll share with you a free PDF copy of my new Rules of Marksmanship manifesto. Don't wait. Your results are going to be amazing if you follow this simple process. I know you can, I know you will. So go to chrissajnog.com/new rules and start paving your path to perfection.